Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
The Broncos offense taking the field, and the quarterback situation in Denver, that's going to be something to monitor, certainly, as the weeks go by.
No doubt about it. Remember, they passed on taking a quarterback at number 5 in the draft. Now, they did take Bradley Chubb, the best pass rusher, so you understand why. But now you're looking at Case Keenum being the veteran guy that came over to take the starting job. Paxton Lynch was supposed to be the future, but for the present time, he's been passed up by Chad Kelly, Mr. Irrelevant himself from the draft 2 years ago. Could they be in the market for a veteran quarterback during this preseason? Maybe Teddy Bridgewater with the Jets could be an attractive guy.
Bronco first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On first, again, they go with Booker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So into Packer territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 46. They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. He got it stripped. You can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him, because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go in any different direction. It can go way away from you. In this case, it didn't matter. He was able to get on it.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. A second down carry for Booker. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Starting lineup here on offense for Denver. Let's focus in on the running back position. Of course, Devontae Booker is there. Royce Freeman, 3rd-round pick out of Oregon. He's looked good in the preseason so far. What have you thought?
I'm going to come back to Royce Freeman in just a second because D'Angelo Henderson's in the mix. Phillip Lindsay, an exciting runner out of Colorado who can also return kicks and maybe be a 3rd down back. But you mentioned Royce Freeman, 3rd-round pick out of Oregon, a big back. They liked him when they picked him. They've liked him even more in the preseason. A lot of people expect him to be the lead runner when the regular season begins.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Packers onto the field. Aaron Rodgers leading the way, and it's been an eventful camp so far for Aaron Rodgers. Remember, longtime safety net Jordy Nelson no longer there. Now you still have Cobb and Adams, but some young guys in the mix.
And I was at practice when Aaron Rodgers didn't like the effort level of his young receivers. In fact, he was quoted afterwards saying something I can't say here about that, and he needed them to step up. We're talking about young receivers like Jamon Moore out of Missouri, Equinemius St. Brown out of Notre Dame, Marquez Valdez-Scantling out of USF. He needs them to step up. But the guy he's been most comfortable with in training camp, Jake Kummerow out of Division III Wisconsin Whitewater, the cousin of the Chargers' Joey Bosa.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They run it again with Williams. Williams loses the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line. So a rocky start on both sides offensively. Turnovers exchanged.
I saw what you did there.
What'd I do? Rocky. Too rocky.
I saw that. I got it. And, and right now, they're carrying it around like they are wearing boxing gloves and don't have that kind of rule.
Defensively, here's how they'll line up for Green Bay. One name out for the year with the ACL injury, linebacker Jake Ryan.
So they're going to need someone to pair with Blake Martinez inside, someone to step up. Keep an eye on Orange, moved to linebacker while he played for the Commodores. He could very well be a rookie starter for the Packers in 2018.
Now Keenum throwing on second. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
They'll run it. This is Booker. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Devontae Booker, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Green Bay's offense coming out onto the field, and week 2 of the preseason, they were electric. 51 points they put up against the Steelers.
And Aaron Rodgers got his first action of the preseason and led an opening drive for a touchdown, so he felt great. But the activity is behind him. Brett Hundley, his backup last season, he's having a terrific preseason. He played a little bit and did just fine, 6 of 9 throwing the ball. Deshaun Kaiser got his first extended action of the preseason.
He's got him in, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And give him a gain of 37.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 37-yard line. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And an alley run. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Now that's how you start to get back into good graces.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Out to his left. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
I know we're still playing 11 on 11 in the NFL, but Chris Harris's ability to move into the slot and be a nickel corner makes me think we should have 12 guys listed on depth charts all the time because He goes in there and takes away the quick, small receivers, the tall, rangy receivers, and sometimes if tight ends move in there, he can cover them as well with his strength.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Williams. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Let's go, come on.
Now Rodgers. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will he?
No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby, and we are tied at 7. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it's on.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Booker on 1st down. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Running again, and again it's Booker. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And this is going to be incomplete. Tramon Williams there to break that one up.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
As the Packers make their way back out here on offense, and talk about Mr. Davis's trip to Green Bay. You've been doing the camp visits, and you went up to Green Bay. You had a great time, didn't you?
I certainly did, partner, and I went full fan, full historian, Packers lore. So while I was there, I drove to Vince Lombardi's house and kind of commune there for a little while. And the people who lived there, the same family that bought it from the Lombardi family back in late 1960s, still there, and they're used to this. I went by the Union Hotel where the Packers were formed. I went by St. Norbert's College where the Packers used to do the entire training camp. The only thing I haven't done yet, visited Curly Lambeau's gravesite. That's my next visit.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To throw on second down is Keenum. Throwing right side, it's complete to Demaryius Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On the handoff, this is Booker. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Right back to Booker. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, third and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
Throwing on third down, Keenum. He's got a man in Sutton that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance.
And down he goes. Keenum is sacked.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Broncos on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. From the gun, here's Keenum. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 38 yards. And the Broncos are in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 14-7. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Again, it's Williams. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Let's go, come on.
They do go for it. It's Rodgers. Buying time to his left. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 35-yard line. Rodgers now on first down. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Dancing to his left. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you have to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now instead of coming right for it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
And there's another sack for Bradley Chubb, and that's exactly why they drafted him. But don't discount his ability to play the run. This is a big, strong young man who understands offensive schemes, how they try to block, and he'll stand stout against the running game as well as continuing to get after the passer.
Now Rodgers, and he's going to go down again.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Case Keenum in the offense heading back onto the field. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nick Perry coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Keenum to throw on 2nd down. His throw incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Play action. It's Keenum. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they have the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved. Yeah. You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, They are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball so that maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put them in the lead.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They begin the drive with Williams. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a 1st down.
We always talk about our admiration for quarterbacks who can extend the life of a play and create another play off of one that appears to have broken down. Should we come up with a different term for Aaron Rodgers? Because he's taking it to a new level.
He loves life outside of the pocket, doesn't he?
He certainly does. Very comfortable out there, and he usually results in good things for Green Bay.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 14-10 the score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Let's go, come on, go, hey, let's go, come on.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally, I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
They run. It's Williams. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Oh, man. 4th down and 1, and you're on your own side of midfield? That takes a little bit of courage to pull off, but they went ahead and snapped it, and it'll work out for them as they get the 1st down.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Rodgers, forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up, a live ball. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. As his guys are in for 6. And the Broncos will extend their lead. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
Out comes Ty Montgomery and the rest of his offensive mates to take over. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusion.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Todd Davis. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Over 70 yards receiving now for him in this first half alone, as he's got a first down on that last catch.
Let's go, come on.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory. Down at the 33. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Caught on the right side. It's Lewis. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed him down on that.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Von Miller. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. The number 2 pick back in 2011, Von Miller still doing his thing.
Boy, is he ever. If I were an offensive tackle, I don't know what I would do. I would tell the tight end he's got to stay in on all passing situations and help me out because he's got every move imaginable. One of the quickest guys off the ball in the league, and he's going to get to the quarterback.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And an alley to run. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Perry coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference, defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. We're going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Shotgun snap for Keenum. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Devontae Booker. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Oh, such great concentration there, going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There are so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
Trevor Davis now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Well, hey, switching gears for a second. Halfway through the preseason, any big takeaways that you've seen so far, Charles?
No, just a few come to mind. Number one, the roster of 90 that stays that way throughout preseason, I think is a boon for every team because you can practice a little bit better, get a few more things done because you have more bodies, and those guys get to get on tape for 4 preseason games. So I think that's really good. The other part is normal execution, struggle a little bit. Early in the season, guys trying to get it back together. And last but not least, the practice of coming together with another team 2 joint practices before a preseason game becoming more and more widespread, and you get a lot of really good competition in practice with the best versus the best from each team.
Here we go on 4th down with Rodgers. Being chased out left. And Adams has it complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And down to the 29-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On play action, now Rodgers steps away to his left. And some room to roam now. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Buying time to his left. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting this sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Devontae Booker getting ready to head back out there now with his offensive unit. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, In this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go. This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Dancing to his left. And he's got it. And he's brought down. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run it with Williams. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
He'll get it up the middle, and that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try to run it in. It's Williams. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
They'll hand off to Booker. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it now out of the gun. Booker coughs it up, and the Packers pick it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Broncos on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 3. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen.
The ruling on the field is reversed.
The Broncos on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3. Following the fumble recovery, it's Keenum. Oh, stays up. Stays on his feet. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Nick Perry. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what second down brings. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. They'll hand it off now, Williams. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. Here we go with Williams. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. They go play action here on 1st down. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. Hey, while we got a second, let's talk rookie running backs. Obviously, the headliner is Saquon Barkley, but there's a lot of good other backs in this class, are there not?
There certainly are, and there was a surprise first-round pick to many people out of San Diego State named Rashad Penny, who went to State. They're trying to recreate that strong running game that they had that powered them to 2 Super Bowl appearances. How about Royce Freeman in Denver? A big-time pickup out of the University of Oregon. They expect him to be the lead runner when the season begins. He'll get every opportunity to do that. Kerryon Johnson in Detroit.
And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. On play action, Rodgers. And some space here. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Hurry up.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Crosby puts it through, and that'll move him back within 6 now. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL, give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. On first down, Rodgers forced out to his left. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll run it with Williams. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On third down, here's Williams. And he went nowhere. backwards, back to the 33. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atoned for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Off-play action. Keenum looking for Sanders here on the... This is intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now trotting out there, the Packers. Getting ready to go. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game and quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is help.
Finding open space, and he found the right spot.
For this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game. 6-yard line just across the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. Played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Keenum going to try and throw on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 34. Rodgers now on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Darian Stewart that time who was able to knock the pass away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On the ground, this is Williams. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The drive starts with Devontae Booker, and he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On the carry, it's Booker, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Sanders has it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they'll bootleg it here with Keenum. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, right now, Charles, we sit in the thick of preseason, and, of course, that means we're in the thick of fantasy football draft seasons. The top 5. It's good to have David Johnson back, Le'Veon Bell, of course, Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, Antonio Brown, all studs. Who would you take #1 in a fantasy draft?
Oh, that's a tough one, but I would look at Todd Gurley and David Johnson as my top 2 picks. Johnson missed all of last season with a wrist injury, and with potentially a rookie quarterback there and a little bit of a rebuild, he may get more work than he can possibly handle. Todd Gurley was a beast for L.A. last year, running it and catching it. But how about a rookie by the name of Saquon Barkley with the Giants? I think he'll get a ton of touches. And Alvin Kamara, he showed what he could do last year, both running it and catching it. And don't forget, returning it as well.
Williams. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Adam Gotsis. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over the sideline?
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They set up the screen to Booker. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
This is fielded at the 7. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Here's Rodgers to throw. being chased out left.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
On the move to his left. He may try and run for this. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football. But they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, this is my theme with Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They're hitting it just 30.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Here's Marquette King now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken around the 12. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble. I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. They convert on third with a gain of 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now Williams, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Steps away to his left. Caught left side by Cobb. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Rolling to his left. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Pass incomplete. Good play there to step in and knock that one away by Chris Harris.
Who said that he couldn't play in the NFL?
Not me.
Not you. A lot of scouts did, a lot of people undrafted, and has turned himself into a Pro Bowl cornerback, one that really knows how to play the position.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And Crosby puts it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So it's a drive that ends in 3, and I know that that line sounds familiar. It's because I've said it 7 times now, and that leaves him 1 short of the NFL record of 8 field goals in 1 game.
It has been a lot of settling for 3. But I tell you what, it's nice to know that you have someone this reliable to turn to.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
A second down carry for Booker. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field. And they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. On 1st and 10, Keenum. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. It's a big play. Keenum to Thomas. 44 yards. Well, I guess at the very least they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
They'll run here with Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now the Packers going to take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This for the lead in the final stages. And McManus able to put it through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed him. Instead, second down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
They give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. They will look for some important yardage on third down. From here, it would be a 60-yard boot. Back to throw. Flushed out right. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.